We're all
cool.
at the concert, ironically enough.
Imagine that. What's his name?
That. His name was Nate Crawford.
Okay,
he lives in Florida now, but we were together for 4 years, and and then as an adult, I mean, you have the stairs. Here's the thing. The things that I face and that I go through every single day, most people are they're just never gonna realize that.
Yeah.
Everything is harder. There are stairs, there are remarks, there are, these crazy things that happen every day that it's never going to go away. I mean, that's just a person without legs, and it's also a part of society that, even though it's like 20% of the society, it's totally, even though we are so up with every other minority, we are definitely, and I will not stand and shout and scream and I want real unity. So I keep my life consistent, and I act the way I want. So I'm not trying to be me versus them ever.
Yes,
I will never be that way. But that is the reality, right? But I just want to, I love people, and I have seen so much good in people all around the world as a thread. As a thread of love and compassion and goodness. So, yes, all those things happen to me every single day. It is real, right? There, you have to think about parking, you have to think about elevators, you have to think about, even when I get out of my chair and go up and down stairs, what am I going to wear? Do I want it to get dirty? If it's a dress, all of these things. My life, of course, you know what I mean? People, oh my gosh, did you see her? Like a kid, in public, and it's like, whoa, I've had people like this super shuttled person, in New York. He gets out of the van, instantly looks at me, how are you going to get in this van?
Wow.
And it just kept getting worse from there on, that was like a one incident where it was truly like,
wow.
What is wrong with you? And then caused a whole scene in front of an entire van of people. On his phone talking to a supervisor about this girl in a wheelchair. I'm sitting right next to him. I couldn't believe it. And that was a time where I didn't make the right choice, and I just let him have it. I have to. I'm human.
We're human.
I'm human.
You're allowed to do that because you know what? Sometimes it calls for that.
It does. It did. Like I wasn't outrageous, but for me to even slightly snap on somebody in front of people, that's not me.
Yeah, it's okay.
But so those things are real. Like those things they happen, but I will never sit and focus and dwell on those, and you rarely will hear about it in an interview because when I talk about those things and I'm getting like it's almost like it's spewing negativity and it's making people think worse of other people, and that's a minority. That happens once in 5,000 times.
And the thing too is we always have to remember that people don't know how to react sometimes.
Yes.
So people, have been raised certain ways. They have certain morals and values, and some people don't.
Yep.
So some people don't know how to react to that. It's the fear of the unknown, or it's unfamiliar to them, so they react in this negative way. And like you said, it's very minor, that some people are going to do this. But, I think you handled it the way you were supposed to, because sometimes people need to just, hear what you have to say. You know what? And sometimes you need that voice. We can't always be proper and polite and have perfect polished
No, I'm definitely not perfect. And
that's okay, and that's the good of you for you to stand up for yourself and be able to have that voice. So let's talk about life other than being doing all these amazing things. You're a speaker, you're traveling all around the world. I want to dive into your personal life a little bit, if you don't mind. But I want to ask, so how does this affect you, and do you have a significant other? Do you have a partner? Do you have somebody that that shares your life with you?
Right now I'm single, and I have kind of purposely been single at this moment right now in my life, because with the travel, with the life that we've just talked about, right? With all the performing, with all the countries, with all this, I started meeting men all over the world. It just because that's where you're at. You meet people where you are. So I always meet people in the gym, and then who knows, on a plane or in a foreign country. So But it's like I would meet him, and then this guy would pursue me. Because another thing about what I do is I'm always on a stage or in front of a camera or on TV, right? So what is that doing? That's drawing the attention to me. So that makes more people notice who I am.
Yes.
And then you have people that are interested in you. And not even for, I know if someone's interested in me for a wrong reason. These guys were great. These were incredible men. I choose wisely and specifically. You know, I can't even say anything bad at all about the men. That's what made it so hard, right? It's because I would, you know, meet this guy in Dubai, and then we got so close, and we loved each other. And then I, you know, later met another guy in a different country, and then it was like, and then you get ripped away and you go back and you're on the stage 1 minute and everyone's acting like you're like this superhuman person, and they're just, it's incredible, and all of your emotions are going, and you have your hair and your makeup and your costume, and you're 30 feet in the air, and people are going crazy below you, and then before you know it, you're alone in your apartment. I mean,
wow,
that does a number on your mind and definitely your heart. So years and years and years, I've been doing this for 10 years, of these patterns, I realized it became a pattern, and it became an unhealthy pattern. And if I really wanted to be married and have a serious relationship with someone one day, I had to shut these doors that I probably shouldn't have opened, and actually hard shut them. And that's really hard, because I got really close with some people throughout my life who really loved me and really cared for me, and I really cared for them. But I knew they weren't going to be my husband. And that was tough, like really, really, really tough. And so once, about less than a year ago, I really was like, oh, I'm actually ready to meet somebody to consider being married. I had never really been serious up until this point. And once I really realized that it was serious, that's when I was like, okay, anything unhealthy, even remotely unhealthy, and I'm not talking toxic relationships, I'm just saying I can't flirt even with the idea or entertain anything that I know isn't going to end in marriage, because that's me being selfish and playing with their emotions and also giving my emotions, and it was taking away and filling up the space versus letting my space and my heart be open for the right person.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. And that the beauty of that is that you're aware of that. And so many people aren't aware of that. We come to a place in life and we get more mature and we get older and things like that. And it's funny because people would be like, oh, well, don't you want to be married? And I was like, of course I want to be married. You know, that's the end goal. You know, most of us are like that. And, you know, and we think about it and it's like, well, why is your career so important? Why are you working so hard? And it's like, everything falls into place at the right time, you know, but one door closes, another one opens. And as you said, if you don't shut that door and even flirt or entertain with the idea or somebody's heart or whatever is going on, that other door can't open, the big door. The big door that we want to open at the end.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And that's hard, you know, that's probably been, you know, men have been my greatest weakness, greatest struggle, and greatest love as well. I've had the most incredible, I think one of my next books is going to be all about love and relationships, and but I think I want to do that with whoever I marry. So it's love, dating, and marriage, and then it's both of us together. But I have so many stories and so many hardships and so many things that now I see I could have avoided 90% of it.
Well, if we knew then what we know now, then that would be great. Yes. I would have loved to read that book before all my heartbreaks and mistakes.
Me too.
Right.
Yes.
So what does the next, couple years look like for you? The next 5 years look like for you? We see that marriage will be on the forefront soon,
definitely.
So that's amazing.
Definitely.
So you guys out there, the right ones though.
The right one. I want to get married, want to have kids eventually. Okay. I would love to have naturally a couple and then also adopt. Very full circle for me, and write more books. And I really have felt called for years, the entire time I was in the industry, that one day I would kind of break into fashion and beauty a little bit more as well. And turn things upside down.
That was what you originally wanted to do, and then you went into everything else that you were doing.
Yes. Well, I wanted to be in the fashion side of it from kind of a buyer or a fashion magazine standpoint, creating one. But I actually have felt called throughout my life to kind of like say be the face of CoverGirl or do an ad, do a collaboration with Under Armour. These things that have never had someone like me be in these places, and that's huge. And I also have felt very recently that I might be called into kind of like an action superhero role, which has never been done.
I want you in my movie.
You know?
We could cast this girl. That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would, you know, because God gave me these strengths and these totally unique abilities to do things and create a character that has never been done, that is so powerful and so unique.
Yeah.
And why not?
Well, with the tumbling, the gymnastics, all that, I mean, because tumbling is part of stunts and action acting.
Yes.
So that's amazing. Well, I'm going to work on that for you.
Oh, thank you.
Because I think you would be phenomenal at that.
Thank you.
That is incredible. You have inspired me so much. You know, I couldn't help but the last couple of days just sit and think, you know, when we sit there and we complain about our lives and we complain about the things that, you know, or setbacks or obstacles and things like that, and or, you know, just anything, or self-inflicted things in life, I just thought, wow, you know, this woman is so phenomenal, and your whole existence has been phenomenal, regardless of what you've been through. And, you know, I just, I admire you so much, and your story is just so phenomenal, and I'm so glad that you've been reunited with your family, and that relationship with your biological mother, and you still have your adoptive parents in your life, and your brothers and your sisters. What an amazing, I mean, you couldn't even write this stuff in a movie. This is a beautiful, true life story.
Thank you.
And we're definitely going to follow you. Share with us where to find you on social media. And again, you can find your book as well on Amazon.
Definitely. You can follow me on Instagram at Jen Bricker, 1N, Bricker like a brick, and Facebook, the same thing, jenbricker.com. Jen Bricker as a theme, and the book is Everything is Possible, with me doing a handstand on the front, so you definitely can't miss it.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's an amazing book. You guys got to check it out and get it. Jen, thank you so much for your time here today. You're just a true angel, and what I call a life angel. So thank you for being here today and sharing your story. We're here every Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the TLC Unleashed show. So don't miss it. We'll see you next week for Valentine's Day. And thank you so much again, Jen. Make sure you follow her. She's a beautiful soul. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Good job.